Going to discuss primarily how starships are made by Elon Musk's SpaceX, along with the SpaceX update wherein Musk is offering help and assistance to make spacesuits for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. We will also look closely at all the starships manufactured by SpaceX as well as how they have evolved. Then it would not be a surprise to see how SpaceX has been successful in securing lunar lander contracts. This video is going to be all about rocket ships and how they are constructed. We would particularly like to discuss the launching attempts and why and how starships have evolved for Tesla. Before we get into the juicy details of the video, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button and also the notification bell. The purpose of designing the Falcon 1. Everyone has heard of the Falcon Super Heavy launch vehicle. It was designed to move people around, act as spaceships, and carry various cargo into space. However, let's talk about how such an idea of a ship came about, since such a powerful design wasn't created in a day, and it also had a couple of predecessors before this one arrived. The history of the Falcon family of vehicles began with the creation of the Falcon 1, which is a lightweight launch vehicle with a length of 21.3 meters or 69.8 feet, a launch mass of 27.6 tons, and a diameter of 1.7 meters or 5.6 feet. The rocket could carry 420 kilograms or 926 pounds of payload on board. It became the first private device that was able to bring cargo into low Earth orbit, which is in itself a great achievement, but definitely not the best it could be. The structure of Falcon 1. The construction of the Falcon 1 consisted of only two stages. The first of them consisted of a supporting element with fuel tanks, an engine, and a parachute system. Kerosene was preferred as fuel, while liquid oxygen was used as its oxidizing agent. The second stage also contained fuel tanks and an engine, though the latter had less thrust compared to the one in the first stage. Despite the huge launch that cost $7.9 million, 5 attempts were made to send the Falcon 1 beyond the borders of our planet, but not all of them were successful at the time of the debut event of the rocket. SpaceX has already developed its own flight suit successfully. We are lucky to be around these times when these suits are being used in SpaceX's crew missions. When launched in spacecraft, the flight suits are equipped specifically to protect the astronauts if there is a fire or situations arise wherein the cabin depressurizes. A fire started in the first stage engine that led to a loss of pressure which caused the engine to shut down in the 34th second of flight. The second attempt to start Falcon 1 incurred a problem with the fuel system at the second stage. The fuel stopped flowing into the engine at 474 seconds of flight, as a result of which it shut down as well. The third time Falcon 1 went on a flight, it wasn't alone. Of the serious cargo, the rocket carried on board the Trailblazer satellite and 2 NASA microsatellites. With the first stage, the flight went normally, but when the time came to separate the stages, the first hit the second right when it started its engine. The fourth and fifth launches showed some promising results, but wasn't good enough to call it a successful attempt. The main problem with Falcon 1 was low demand due to its low payload abilities. For this reason, the development of the rocket stopped. The science behind Falcon 9. Then came the Falcon 9, a device that can carry on board almost 23 tons of cargo. Imagine that SpaceX once again wanted to send Starlink satellites into space, each weighing about 260 kilograms or 573 pounds. The Falcon 9 could lift 88 of these devices all at once, provided that the first stage isn't returned. This too is a 2-stage launch vehicle and uses fuel in the form of kerosene and liquid oxygen. The device is currently in practice and operation, and cost of its launch involves a colossal amount of $62 million, and fortunately every one of them have succeeded. The first stage of the rocket is reusable as it can return to Earth and be used again. Now Falcon 9 is developed to not only carry commercial communication satellites but also to transport and deliver many Dragon cargo ships to the ISS. By the way, why don't we talk about Dragons? Namely Dragon 1 carrying a 6-ton payload from the Earth. The sole duty of this drone is to supply the ISS with everything it needs. In addition, it also takes goods back. However, when sent to Earth, Dragon 1 cannot carry the same weight from the ISS, as the spacecraft can only take 3 to 3.5 tons of cargo. Despite this drawback, it is currently the only cargo spacecraft on Earth that can make a return of at least something. Way to go, Elon Musk, and yet we all know how ambitious his company is. Theirs on its own without assistance from a special manipulator. The ship can be brought back to the surface of the Earth with the help of parachutes, but there's even another option in the case of an accident. With 8 Super Draco engines, a manned landing is also possible. It's time to talk about an ultra-heavy launch vehicle with a payload capacity of almost 64 tons, which was the most powerful and heavy device at the time of the first launch. We are talking about the Falcon Heavy that is developed on the basis of Falcon 9. It made its debut on February 6, 2018. The test was successful and the rocket sent Elon Musk's car into space, a red Tesla Roadster. After this debut, subsequent launches were also conducted without problems. The cost of launching such a launch vehicle is estimated to be around $150 million, but when you think about it, this price is quite justified. The science behind the Falcon 9 FT. It is mainly because of its technical equipment. The first stage of Falcon Heavy has basically 3 major parts. Not one but 2 side boosters are connected to its base. The first stage of the Falcon 9 FT launch vehicle has been specially modified to secure additional elements. In total, 3 blocks contain 27 incredibly powerful engines, 9 in each one. The thrust created during takeoff is comparable to approximately 18 Boeing 747s at full power. In terms of a numerical equivalent, it is almost equal to 22.2 million newtons. Currently, work is underway on something called the Starship manned spacecraft. According to its engineers and designers, this device will be more massive in both mass and size than all of the company's past rockets. This new rocket has the capacity to deliver cargo into orbit that weighs more than 100 tons. The launch of a Starship into space is planned for 2022, but not just as a test to some part of space nearby the Earth, but to Mars and with a payload. Does this mean that one of mankind's all-time dreams will finally be able to come true within a span of just a couple of years? Who knows? Latest update on SpaceX. As part of the introduction, we promised to provide you with the latest update regarding spacesuits. Elon Musk, SpaceX CEO, extends his hand towards NASA to help make its next-generation spacesuits. Recently, a watchdog report has arrived from NASA's Office of the Inspector General that came as breaking news to the public. The report mentioned that NASA's current lunar mission is reportedly behind schedule because of many reasons, the most serious being the availability of the spacesuits. The agency has announced that it wants to return humans to the moon by 2024, but the mission could be delayed. The report also said that the mission would cost more than $1 billion. In this case, Musk offered SpaceX's services to solve and find apt solutions for the spacesuit availability problem. A CNBC space reporter named Michael Sheets also posted the new report saying that NASA's Inspector General hints at the delay in spacesuit development, which is another factor that is making a 2024 astronaut moon landing simply impossible. NASA has supposedly spent almost $420 million and is expecting another major chunk of investment that will cost them nearly $625 million. They also reported how suits will not be ready for the ventures to the moon until April 2025 at the earliest. As a response to that tweet, Musk replied that SpaceX could offer a helping hand in case they want any help or assistance. One way or another, space exploration is being taken to a whole new dimension, and many organizations have already contracted with SpaceX to achieve their goals. Some are planning more serious missions while others are launching satellites into orbit. In any case, in the future, the company is on a path to success. What do you think about Tesla's ventures into the field of air travel, and how far will it change the fabric of our civilization? If you have any heads up or even a suggestion, comment below and let's have a healthy discussion.